And I'll just share this real quick and then we'll finish talking. Okay. So what was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, my
Oh, it was
question.
about the other team.
Yeah.
So I did start drawing them when I was younger. Scavenger was not my first character. I actually one of the reasons I created Scavenger was because my first team was a team of cats, like cat-like characters, because I was a big fan of Black Panther, and and so I created a team of cats, and my first main character was called Alley Cat, and he was like this street tough kind of character, and he protected the streets. He didn't really have any kind of superpowers, but he was agile, basically cat powers. But what motivated all of this was that my friends. This was back when everybody played outside. So my friends and I, we used to wrestle around and watch kung fu movies and all that stuff outside in the yard. And so we decided to create teams, and then that turned into super teams. And everybody started developing their own kind of character. And I would draw them because I was the artist of the group, so I would draw the characters for them. And eventually they migrated away from it. But myself and my friend who lived across the street, we just dove into it head on. And so I created this whole team of people. I had Alley Cat, and then I had Prowler, and I had two twin sisters. One was named Kit, and one was named Cat. And there were a couple other ones. I forget the other names, but so I developed this whole big team. And then another friend of mine who lived a few blocks away, they heard about this, and then they came up with this team. And his character was Black Angel, and I liked Black Angel. I liked the name and I liked the concept, and I got jealous. And this is me at like 11, 12 years old, and so I came up with a character called Night Angel. And I mean, he didn't get mad about it or anything, but and once that happened, and I like really like Night Angel, then I decided to create other characters that were outside of the cat realm, and I created a character called, I forget what my next one was, but there was Night Owl, there was Night Angel, there was two twin sisters, um, Jackie Frost and Dragon Lady, and one was hot and one was cold, and they were twins. And I had Bounty Hunter, who was like this intergalactic time traveler who was he was seasoned. He knew about all kinds of weapons and all kinds of fighting skills because he had been through so many like dimensions and time portals and planets that he didn't even know how old he was. It was almost like he had dementia, but he was like a bad egg. And so there was him, and I just created all kinds of stuff, and it just grew from that until I created Scavenger, and Scavenger became my main character, and that I love so much, and here I am today with Scavenger.
I love the scavenger
Yeah,
character.
I do
I,
too.
I like. I really do. Is the oh, okay. So when I was here last time, you were printing the helmet.
Yes, I actually have a helmet, but oh, I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't trying to ignore anybody. My bad. No, you're good. You're good. But I was talking with someone about Scavenger. So I don't know if you guys were hearing the story about Scavenger, but I'll go over it again later for anybody who's listening. But share the live for me if you guys would, and I'll just be here talking. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and then I'll answer your questions, and we'll go through some comment boxes and stuff. Okay. All right. But yeah, I was printing a mask, a helmet, because that's the current mask for Scavenger. But because my hair grew a lot, the mask is like super tight, and so it presses like against my face, and my eyelashes go through the hole. and all kinds of stuff. So it's uncomfortable, even though it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
It's uncomfortable, so I'm going to recreate his mask. I tried to find the same mask, but I can't find the file for it. So I was experimenting with different files, and I have one printed that I have to glue together. And if I don't like it, I'll just sell it as an individual mask. But if I do like it, I'll put the mechanical ears on it that I created and things like that. So that mask isn't, of course, my file or anything, but the ears on the mask, they were part of a like a display where you set the mask on, and it was like shoulder things that come out from the neck, but I turned them into ears to give them that animalistic appearance kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, Scavenger's look has drastically changed over the years.
Was it always black and red?
Um, yes. Well, it was black and gray at first, but then I changed it to black and red. Uh,
Because like now Batman it has the blue and gray.
yeah,
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 I really dig that.
yeah. And afterwards, they came out with Batman's dad, who became
Oh
Batman,
right,
and
yeah,
his was black and red.
that's right.
But Scavenger was black and red before
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Was that Infinite Earths or
That was Flash's Flashpoint Paradox.
Flashpoint?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's a great story.
yeah. It
Yeah.
is.
What kind of oh,
Oh no, no. Feel free. Feel
there's,
free to ask. They're probably just watching. Not many people talk. They just watch me talk, and I can talk forever. So I've done two 24-hour live streams. So they're probably just used to watching me
how
talk.
how long do you think you're going to stream for today?
Probably just until like 2:15 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of stuff? Well, I don't want to jump the gun here, but
Yeah. What kind of stuff am I going to show?
yeah.
I am going to go through one of my boxes, one of my back issue boxes. I did get new comics in for next week, so I'll probably show those. We'll show those. But we've got another debate we got to do soon. One of my and he likes to do debates, but he's a really cool guy. We don't have any animosity or anything, but he just likes to do debates and stuff.
So he participates a lot in the comic combat.
I
Those
don't know
kind of
if
debates
he's
or different debates.
no. This is different debates where we did our first public one, um, publicly announced one. Um, the debate was Thanos right?
Oh, nice.
And
That's
we
complicated.
have this friendly rivalry going, and he of course thinks he won, but he did not. The whole audience voted for me, but he gave it his best try, right, Simmy? But it was such a fun debate though, and people were wanting me to do another one, so I'm going to do another one. But I'm working on a multi-platform thing where I can stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram, all at the same time. So I've developed here, I'll show you. I'm still here, guys. No worries. I've worked on different. Let me see if I can advance them. No, I can't. But this, for example, well, I'll start from the beginning. This one just announces that I have a stream that's starting, and I put a timer for the start, saving one issue at a time. So that's just letting people know it's all about comics and things like that. And then this is my regular chat, which I just talk about comics and stuff like that, and sometimes show comics on this one. And then there's my camera that I just got. I'm still working on. And then I've got my scavenger's hunt where I do my live auctions on this one. And it's all the same camera, so I can just switch between them. And I do my live auctions on this one because TikTok unfortunately won't let me have a shop yet to do auctions on there. And then this one is my oh, this is my Infinity trivia, where I ask questions, or I have a question, and then they vote their answer, and then it'll eventually reveal the correct answer. But I call this Infinity trivia. And I got that from the kids at school because they say, "Go ahead, spill the tea," tell me about it. And so
Oh,
I
that's
named it
hilarious.
Infinite Tea.
That's, that's awesome.
It's kind of corny, but I like corny
No,
dad joke
that is
stuff.
perfect.
And then I have the multiverses, and some of these guys are probably hearing about this for the first time, but I have the multiverses that I'm working on, and this is the debate one. This is the debate one. I don't know why I can't make that. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the multiverses one. So my picture will be here, and the guest that I have on will appear right here, and we'll debate, and then people can comment what they think about whatever the topic is. So I love that one. That's so much fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I have the comment combat, and with this one, I'll put up two names, and people vote on which one they think would win. Is that not cool?
That is so cool.
And then I have a timer that they have to vote on who would win, and then we discuss why they would win or why they thought they would win or lose or whatever.
I have to participate in that one.
Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun, so much fun. So, but yeah, that's the whole streaming setup that I'm working on. CBF, how you doing today? Good to hear from you. Actually, that might be your first time in my stream, but I'm going to treat you like you've been here forever. And so I want to get that like up and running, and I want to do it on like almost a daily basis. But there are other things that I do too. I can't think of right at the moment. I have a list of stuff that I do, but that's the main ones. Yeah.
I'm gonna go around to the other
Okay.
side.
No worries at all.
I want to ask, but I also want to observe.
Okay.
But I have a question.
Uh huh.
So, um, what, uh, where are you? Is that in the streaming software? That the graphics and stuff?
This. Oh yes. Well, I had two streaming softwares, and excuse me. This one I pulled pieces from one, because basically they were like loops of like clips. Like for example, let me pull up one. Let's pull up the regular chat. So this, you see that flowing thing in the background and this ball right here? Those are just like a video that loops. So let's see if I can find it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Video effects, that's not it. There it is. So I can actually move this all over the place, but that's just a video that just keeps playing over and over. It just loops, and so it looks like the ball is spinning. And so I put that as a graphic and kind of just took part of one streaming thing and then added to this streaming thing and just built it that way.
That's really creative.
Yeah, thank you. And same with this background that's flowing. It's just a video loop of that just flowing in the background.
So where are you live today?
Right now I'm on TikTok. I haven't gone live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube yet. I don't have much of a following on YouTube yet. I've got like 250 people, but I just started streaming back on YouTube. I started streaming on YouTube, but then I went to Instagram because I have like almost 2,000 followers on Instagram. And then I went to TikTok, and TikTok, I built up, I forget where I'm on TikTok, probably like 2,500 on TikTok. That one built up pretty fast because I've only been doing TikTok for a few months. But that one built
Wow,
up pretty fast. Yeah.
that's that's a lot.
Yeah.
I am subscribed to your YouTube channel.
Well, it's a lot in the small scheme of things, but in the larger scheme of things, it's not where I want it to be yet.
Hmm.
I look at people who and they have like 3 million followers, and I'm like, there's no way you had to buy some followers or something. There's no way.
That happens,
But
right?
I don't want to do that. I want it to be I want it to be genuine and natural. So I'm trying to refrain from paying for followers or anything like that, and to get people to come to the channel. Hopefully, it'll spread by word of mouth. But I think 2,500 is pretty good.
Yeah.
For word of mouth, I think that's pretty good. So
Are there like hashtags and creator spaces for comic book content?
yes, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. What can I help you with today?
I just saw this place online. I was just coming to see if you guys had any Magic the Gathering stuff.
Are you talking about like packs?
Packs, cards, whatever.
So I do have the only packs I have are Crimson Vow. That's all I've left. I haven't really delved back into Magic the Gathering
Okay.
because scalpers are buying a bunch of stuff and making it
Yeah, it's a
difficult
nightmare trying to find
for
anything.
everybody, especially small shops.
Yeah.
And but what I do have, you'll probably see some prize support in the back because I'm going to try to start Friday Night Magic back up.
Okay.
That stuff isn't for sale, but in the back corner over here, there's some long white boxes of just commons and stuff like that. And then I had a rare binder, but somebody took it during one of my events.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I haven't built that back up
Gotcha.
yet.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
No problem at all. And feel free to come back or if you have any other questions.
Yeah.
Okay?
Anytime.
You're welcome.
I used to play Magic.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then my wallet was like, "Please stop."
I used to have Friday Night Magic every Friday here at the shop, and all that stopped during COVID. A lot of stuff stopped during COVID, but I haven't really been able to build it back up since. So I've just dabbled in it every once in a while.
Wanted to ask actually about the COVID stuff because um, when I was like getting footage and all that stuff, I saw the Music Con, and there were a ton of people. The energy was awesome,
Oh,
and
it's
you were telling me how
fantastic.
you did that, and then COVID happened, and I know that I mean everything paused, everything changed.
Mhm.
Um, do you think that I don't know? I guess how would you start it again?
So when I was doing it before, especially the music scene, I had people helping me, like pushing and advertising, and they know a bunch of bands and stuff, and eventually that kind of faded away, especially after COVID. But I don't want to put their business out, so I won't give their name. But one of the main people who were helping me was a fantastic guy, and his son. His son was in a band, and so he was pushing bands and stuff, and but his wife passed away, and so he kind of just stopped. I think the last biggest one we did was that when his wife passed away, they were having to sell a lot of their things to I guess to compensate for whatever financially, and I couldn't stand it, dude. It was driving me insane. So I did this big concert. It was outside of here. I rented a space and did this big benefit concert for them and raised some money for them. And it was awesome. It was people came. There was one band who came. They drove 6 hours to come and play, and dude, there's nothing like it. So the funny thing about Musicon is that I told you I'd started.
Yeah.
How I did a Musicon instead of a Comic Con because all the bigger comic shops were getting all the artists and stuff. But when I first started it, I just had it was like a variety of bands. Like there was a guy who played a banjo, and there was a guy who did comical. He was like a comedy musician. He told jokes while he played and stuff. It's just a small group. But then after that stopped, because I moved uptown into a smaller building, and then rent just got too expensive up there, so I moved back down here, and things started to grow down here. So I was actually in that small room next door, and I had to swap the rooms because this grew bigger. And
So is this the dojo?
this used to be the dojo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this used to be the dojo. But COVID, you know, took away a lot of that too. So this outgrew the dojo, so I swapped the rooms, and there's no way I could swap back. This is just too much.
Yeah, yeah.
And but some people heard about the bands that I had, and they had nowhere to play, and they came to me and asked me if I would start it back up. But that guy and his son, they were more like a punk band, and like a little more hardcore stuff than I was used to. And I was reluctant because I was like, I don't know if I want hardcore stuff in my shop, and kids come in, families come in, and they might not like that kind of music. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do a show. And so we did, and from that day on, I had a new respect for live music. Dude, it was amazing. The people were, you they that community is misunderstood. I mean, big time. People see, all these kids with purple hair and chains and nose rings and stuff, and they're like, they can't be good kids. Dude, they policed my store for me. They wouldn't allow any drugs or alcohol in here. They even did moshing, but the moshing was like tame moshing. And for example, like if someone got knocked down, they would stop the crowd and help them back up. Dude, I could be almost in tears talking about this stuff because I love community, and I love people helping other people, and that community was like just prime example of what I was looking for. And so I started doing shows like every other week, and then bands were like, "Hey, can we play at your shop?" I'm like, "Sure." you know, just make sure there's no cussing because we have families that come in and out and stuff. And I remember the one game changer, the main game changer for me that made me really really want to do this was like there was we had a kind of a hardcore show, and most of the people in this community, of course, are Caucasian people. And we had a community show, and there was one little black kid who came into the show. I don't even know where he came from. His parents might have been with him, or like maybe his grandparents brought him in or something. But he was captivated by the band that was playing, and they hoisted this kid up over their shoulders, and they let him crowd surf, and this kid had the time of his life, and I was like, this is what I want. This is it. This is game over. This is musicon. And so I hate that it died down after COVID, and stuff, but
That kid's gonna remember that for the rest
oh,
of his
for the
life.
rest of his life, dude.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life. And so I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but the reason I haven't brought it back is because for the past 14 years I've been like a long-term substitute teacher, and I was working at a school full time. I've been with the same school for 14 years and was working with them full time, and you know I've been teaching kids for years, even kids who are now married and have kids. They still invite me to their weddings, and kids invite me to graduation and things like that. So um, I've been doing that for years, and recently the school board, they have a budget now, and so they didn't realize that the school itself, I guess, had kept me on a status that was paying what they weren't now paying substitute teachers. even though I was trying to get my degree now, I was trying to get back into school to get my degree, my certification to teach full, as a full-time teacher. I was still doing everything that a full-time teacher was doing. I had my own classroom. I go to teacher meetings. I go to professional developments. I do lesson plans, parent-teacher contact, all kinds of stuff, grading papers, everything that a teacher does. But they wanted to then pay me what a regular sub makes, which is, what it actually wasn't even that much less than what I was making, but it was just the status thing. And so I had a meeting with them, and they couldn't raise me up to where I was during COVID, because they needed me during COVID, as a full-time person coming in. They couldn't raise me back up to that. So I was like, if you're going to pay me part time, I'm only going to work part time. And so I left my full time position there, and just go back every once in a while. But then I started focusing on this full time, and it's not as lucrative, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So, but I'm trying to get it to the point where it is lucrative, and I can just focus solely on this. Because I also Uber part time to supplement whatever I need to supplement. So, but this has become just meeting new people, like the people who are on here now, and like Simi, who loves debate, and Angel, and there's a kid on here named his tag name is Tracker, and he came in onto the show and he loves it, and he's always asking me to find him comics that he can't find and stuff. So just building that kind of community is worth more than making a bunch of money to do whatever. This is just amazing to me. So this is what I'm trying to live off of.
Yeah, you found something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to do other things too, like with Scavenger. The reason that I brought Scavenger to life was because I had a plan to like go to the Ronald McDonald House. I actually went to visit the Ronald McDonald House to talk to him about this. But I wanted Scavenger to go there and like give out free comics to kids, and things like that, and like gift boxes and stuff, make up gift boxes. And so I tried to start a fundraiser for it, but um, it's really hard to raise money in a small town like this for stuff like that, apparently. But when I went there, I didn't know that um, most, if not all, of the kids there are terminally ill, and so they have to worry about like germs and like disease and things like that. So they have to be very sanitary cautious, just because of the situation for the kids there. And so and they told me the story about a kid named Thor who loved comics, and I think Thor was his favorite character. And so they started calling him Thor, and but eventually he passed away, and he has his own tile on the ceiling for his name and things like that. And I, when they told me that story, and they told me about how everything had to be, you had to be very careful about stuff. I kind of backed away from it. Number one, because I can tell I would be very emotional under that scavenger costume. And number two, I didn't want to contribute to a possibility of something happening. And so in that comics are not, comics come shipped in boxes, and it's nothing specific, but you know the way they made it sound, like any little germ could be a big problem. And I didn't want to contribute to that kind of thing. So I kind of backed off from that. But there might be other avenues that I could pitch into for doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
I feel like you found every avenue to help your community and be a part of it.
Yeah, it was especially in the comic book community, especially. Is is big for me because of what comics helped me get through growing up as a kid. So, but yeah, I definitely love community stuff. I just wish the community would get more involved in community type stuff like this. Like the Heroes Hangout kind of thing. A lot of people shy away from that kind of stuff, and it's kind of like the way they would treat the musicians who play in those hardcore kind of bands. They're misunderstood. Cosplayers are definitely misunderstood. You know, and people who read comics are misunderstood, especially people my age. I'll be 57 this year. People are like, "You still read comics? You still watch anime?" Yes, I do, absolutely, and I'm going to do it until I die. You know, absolutely. And I was talking to that. I have a follower on here who's close to my age, and he made a comment. I forget what the comment was, but it was very clever. Something about it was to the same effect, reading comics until he dies. But I forget what his comment was. But it was so funny that I plastered it for everybody to see the comment.
I love that.
But
Can you tell me a little bit more about why cosplayers are misunderstood?
people just think it's weird that people dress up as characters. Unfortunately, the community at large. Um, when people get older, they are trained to think that when you become older, you put away childish things. So they look at this as childish stuff. Now, that's not the people who've been doing it for years. Of course, most of them don't think of it that way, but people outside of that community, within a community, um, think it's childish. You should be focusing on paying your bills, and you should be focused on making money. Well, I do. You know, this is one of the ways I do that. It's just fun for me. And they don't understand. I think they don't understand that being an adult doesn't just mean like taking your family to the beach to have a cookout, or going to visit a different country, or having a adult hobby like golf or bowling. Some people don't like that kind of stuff, or watching the Sunday night football games. There are kids who don't like that kind of stuff. So what are they going to do for fun? Are they not going to have fun? No, they like watching anime, and they like drawing characters, and they like reading comics and talking about superheroes and manga and anime characters. So you can't just shut out a whole population of people just because you don't agree with what they like. Just like they wouldn't shut people who like football out or who play golf out because they do that stuff. Communities can live within a community, but people just don't understand that kind of thing.
So I know that Hero Hangout you do it on your birthday, but is that part of your motivation is to just show the community that we're also here. If you have these interests, there are people here that will celebrate that.
Yes, in fact, my main reason for doing Heroes Hangout was to advertise the cosplay community, and at the same time, helping the community itself, like downtown, grow by inviting people downtown. So like if I could make it grow, let's say I could get Heroes Hangout to grow. And for those of you who don't know what Heroes Hangout is, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Heroes Hangout is a cosplay event that I do usually around my birthday, even though I haven't done it in a couple of years, but usually around my birthday, where I invite cosplayers here to the shop, and we meet here, and then we go walk around downtown and visit different shops. And we visited the record store. One time we went to the ice cream shop and sat down and ate. And there was a place called the Maker Space, and we visited the Maker Space. But we just walk around downtown in costume and as our favorite characters, and just hang out and have fun. Heroes Hangout. But before, when I was advertising Heroes Hangout on my social media, I also pitched to the city, hey, can you help us advertise this? Because people will come here, and they might go to the restaurants to eat. If they get hungry, they'll visit the places downtown and take pictures in front of the shops and help advertise. And I didn't really get a response from the city. I did like maybe 2 days before the event, and only two shops downtown responded to us and said, "Hey, yeah, it's cool if you come." I think one was the bookstore, and the other was the record shop, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't mind, come by." And but it was disheartening because I really wanted it to be a really big like community thing. Can you imagine driving by downtown and just see a bunch of people in costume just walking around, like visiting the shops and talking with the shop owners and taking pictures and kids stopping and wanting to get out and taking pictures. Can you imagine that? What kind of like a just like an impromptu thing that would be? That would be awesome. If I went to a city and I passed by through a little town and I saw that happening, I would want to get out and say, "What's going on? Oh, look at this! I remember this costume when I was a kid. This character when I was a kid." I would want to get out and walk around and ask questions and take pictures and
Yeah.
just make it a big thing.
Sensei, I'll be right back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Thank you.
But anyway,
I'll be right
um,
back.
sorry guys, I didn't mean to. I wouldn't, of course. Oh well, I see a lot of people in here. Thank you guys for listening and watching and stopping by. I have someone, a college student, who wants to interview me for a thing that he's doing. So I wasn't trying to ignore anybody, I promise. And I hope everybody's doing okay. But he's gonna be back here soon. So I'll take a moment to talk to you guys. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you guys don't feel like I was neglecting you. I didn't know he was gonna come by during this time, but he asked if he could come by just like an hour before if he could come by during one of my lives, and I said yes, of course. And I like being a part of helping him accomplish whatever he's trying to accomplish for college. So, do I have Avengers 58 or Thor 154? You know what? I don't know. Let's go find out real quick. Avengers 58. Now, you talking about which series are you talking about? Are you talking about like the old Avengers 58? If you're talking about old Avengers 58, I probably do not. Actually, let me look that up real quick. Let me see what that looks like. I'm going to look and see what you might be talking about, just to be sure I'm on the same page as you. Um, okay, Avengers 58. I do not have that issue. If you're talking about the old school Avengers from the 1960s, yeah, if you're talking about that one, Hotline, I do not have that one. I sold a lot of my Avengers, my early Avengers. That's how I got my shop started, actually. I showed a lot of my early Avengers. The only one I kept was Avengers number one. And the other one was, what was the other one? Thor 154. That one I might actually have. Let me check and see though. I know I did a whole entire live stream on I did an entire live stream on Thor alone. No, I don't have Thor 154. Or was that 154 you said? Thor 154. Yes, I don't have that one. Wish I did though. That looks kind of cool actually. No worries at all. That's what I'm here for. That's exactly what I'm here for. I'm trying to get my other camera to follow me. But he's not following me right now. This is a new camera that I got that's supposed to. Here we go. Maybe he's following me now. Okay, yeah, he's following me now. Sweet. All right. So, guys, if you would, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you don't mind, help support that channel. And hotline, I am in Burlington, North Carolina. The good old town of Burlington. And if you follow me, hotline, I'll follow you back also. All right, you guys want to see some comics? First, I'm going to go over some of the stuff I got in recently. And some of this is not until for next week. I'm going to show it anyway. I can't put it out yet, but I can at least show it. Oh, wow. Why am I zoomed in on this thing? Hold on. There we go. Okay, that's better. Man, I was in high definition for a second there. I don't look so great in high definition. All right, let's show some comics. I've got this Something is Killing the Children variant cover. This is really cool. I might move my other camera over here by my TikTok camera so that I can just show it in one spot. So now if I do this, everybody gets to see it. Perfect. Okay. We have Hello Darkness. Now a lot of these are going to be indie. Oh, I need to take off my mirror image. Give me a second, guys. There we go. I cannot stand mirror image. I see a lot of people doing mirror image and the titles backwards, and that just drives me crazy. Can't do it. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to share this real quick. If you guys would share the live with me or for me, I would definitely appreciate that. I don't know who all is in here, so I'm going to just send invites to people who I know normally come in here. So everybody will know that I'm here. So if you get an invite and you're already in here, I apologize in advance. Okay, there we go. All right. So anyway, as I was saying, hello darkness. And Wow, this is interesting. Godzilla versus Texas. Minor threats. Here's the regular cover to something that's killing the children. Heidi, which comics are you waiting on? I forgot. I would have to look at my notes to see which ones you're waiting on. I know you're waiting on a Green Lantern one. That one hasn't come in yet. You're waiting on a and